Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena. Although I'm doing terribly in this run, I actually feel really... Oh god, that's loud. I actually feel really good about this deck. It's probably the, most relaxed I've ever been while losing Arena horribly. The wins were all really solid. The losses were to frickin' Shamans, which, it had to happen. It had to happen because once I started trash talking how awful Shamans were, of course I would need to lose to every Shaman that I see. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have like a tragically losing record to Shamans. I think my record versus Shamans is like worse than against Mages right now. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, that's fine. And I made a deal with the devil that I would beat any class that wasn't a Shaman so that all three losses would come from... Oh no! No! Oh no! Oh my god, I actually am going to get to perhaps achieve that deal with the devil where I beat every class who isn't a Shaman and lose to all the Shamans. Oh jeez, it had to be. Who plays Shaman in the arena? Why would you ever do that? That's just a terrible life choice. Sivak, what was it like? Shaman, Rogue, Warlock, and you thought Shaman would be the least of all evils? Well, you have something to learn, my friend. You may win this game because my sacrificial pact is going to involve me sacrificing my own life here. But you will lose in the arena, and you will learn to loathe the Shaman. He may have outrageously ripped biceps, but Thrall is no good for anyone. Okay, so we have a choice here, whether to play the Zombie Chow or the Mortal Coil. I'm going to go for the Chow here, because the Chow can deal with this Leper Gnome, and I'll go up a card with some board presence. Mortal Coil, I go up as a card as well, but not with as much board presence. He gets a Totem. It's not the Taunt Totem. And now I have some options. Honestly, I was expecting this thing to die, so the fact that it didn't is kind of a shock. So, yeah, why don't we Mortal Coil the Leper Gnome then, and then kill the Totem? Panda, okay. No need to play that thing. Had I had the Panda in my hand, by the way, I could have just killed the Zombie Chow, and played the Panda, and then healed this up. So, he's got a very slow start here, which bodes, well and poorly. It might mean he's going to have some big stuff later on. I could life tap and go up a card, but I think I'd rather get some more board presence, so let's just play a Panda as basically a vanilla 3-2. This would have been a pro play had he had the 1-1 totem, because then I would have healed it for 1. Epic play. But he's now going to have non-stop big stuff, and all I have to show for it is these guys. Yeah, I could be in a little bit of trouble. Alright, so the party starts right there with Piloted Treader. We need to... Wow, we need to make quite a few considerations here, so... Option number 1, I could play the Enhancio Mechano. Hope this guy gets Divine Shield. But if he doesn't get Divine Shield, like Wind Fury and Taunt are both pretty bad, so I think that would be a bit premature. I got the Little Exorcist, would be a 3-4 Taunt, which would trade with this, and then he'd get a 2-drop out of it. I could actually play this and then coin Dark Bomb to kill this thing. I think we're going to do that, actually. Because there's a decent chance I can kill a 2-drop. Unless he gets a Millhouse freaking Mana Storm. I should be able to... trade with any 2-drop that he gets, and then that way, well, I'm actually down a card if that happens, but it's better than the alternative. Okay, so do I just accept it that I 2-for-1'd against his Piloted Treader and just, be happy with my 3-4? Nah, I'm not going to settle for that. I'm going to hit him in the face and let this 3-4 kill this 2-3. He didn't have removal for any of my things. He made totems and did nothing else. So since he doesn't have removal, I think this thing should be pretty safe. Obviously, this thing is very cool for hunters, but for shamans, he doesn't do anything. Violet Teacher, very good card. And okay, so my gambit pays off. Now, again, we have to think. I could play the Enhancio Mechano and hope for a single Divine Shield anywhere would be really good. If I get nothing but Taunt and Wind Fury, though, that would suck. So what are the odds that I get no Divine Shields? Well, let's see. 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3. So there's an 8 in 27 chance I wouldn't get any Divine Shields and be left in a rough spot. So I could kill this. I could just 2-for-1 into the Violet Teacher. But then I, make it up because I got this. Why don't we just do that? Yeah? Why don't I just kill this? 2-for-1 into the Teacher. And then say, your move. Because now, this guy's about to turn into a 6-6. And Shamans are not very good at killing 4/4s. He'd pretty much have to have a Hex here, which would be half his mana. And then next turn I can drop this guy. With Siphon Souls to back him up, I could start racing once I bait out the Hex on the Floating Watcher. I didn't like playing this guy first. because I mean this thing is basically a 6/6. This is a 7/6, so I'm just sacrificing 1 power. And I might have wanted, you know, oh Jesus, that's a pretty good card. Oh my God, that's terrible. Wow, that was unfortunate. Yeah, it makes me wish I'd played the Venchko Mercenary. So we kill this thing. He's in the lead, but you know what? Of course he's in the lead because he's a shaman, and I always lose to shamans. So he's got 6 cards to my 5. I can life tap. My hand's a bit awkward. Got some weirdo creatures that aren't very good. Okay, there's the Piloted Shredder, naturally, and a Raging Worgen. Oh, jeez. Oh, yeah, he's just got some really good card quality stuff. Let's see if we can... Actually, do I want to just play this thing? That doesn't seem right. We'll just life tap, see what I got. Gnomes Engineer. Sure.
I hope you like my invention.
Well, let's just do that. Gotta kill the Worgen. I think it's the more pressing creature there. And then the Shredder, I'm assuming will kill the Venchko Mercenary. Or a Fire Elemental will do it. And then we'll see. Either I can play the Ogre if he's not too threatening, or I have to play Siphon Soul if he doesn't. Gets a 3/2, which is another pretty good drop out of that thing. There's a slight chance I can play the Wolf and use the Engineer to pop this in. If it's not a Taunt Totem, it's not. If he doesn't have a Taunt Creature, he doesn't. Okay, that's it. So he's got some I don't know what he's doing for cards. He seems to have some issues. Okay, Stormpike Commando doesn't seem like the right play here. Let's just go for the Wolf, trade that in, play the Ogre. So it does suck that the Golem gets to kill the Wolf. There's no denying that. Maybe I could have used the Commando, but the Golem could have killed the Commando. But I guess the Golem would have traded with the Commando, whereas it kills the Wolf and lives. Alright, the Golem's going to get healed up a little bit. He seems not to have a Hex, although, I don't know, he used Mad Bomber to kill a Floating Watcher. That's a pretty good alternative to Hex. He actually could very well have a Hex. This is the card he just top decked. It's another Golem. This guy loves his mechs. 2 Shredders and 2 Golems. He loves his respawning mechs. I could have gotten a huge Exorcist. Okay, so he's just unloading board pressure. I didn't get any Hellfire, didn't get any, what's his face? Shadow Flames in this draft. Not that I would have necessarily taken a Shadow Flame. This is very awkward. He's just got a swarm of crap. I don't have any taunts to block myself. I don't have any way to kill it all. This Ogre can only do so much. Okay. Well, let's kill off one of them. Let's shoot that thing dead. And, I could play this hoping for Divine Shields again, but... Or, I guess Wind Fury, so this thing could attack again. Or a taunt on this might be alright. I don't know, it seems premature. We'll just play this guy. He's got bigger stats than 3/2. And a 3/4 is actually decent on this board. Alright, I'm just slipping behind on cards here. I do have removal, but he's not giving me anything that Siphon Soul is worth using on. Jesus Christ. So he gets a 4/4 and a Freeze and Coolant. There's my Siphon Soul. Am I dead? I could actually be dead here. 3, 7, 9, 10. Yeah, getting pretty close to dead. He's not doing that though. He's just making efficient trades, which is fine. He can kill my Ogre with his Golem. I don't even know what happened. I just, like, couldn't get anything to stick on the table. Even though I had a slow start, he had some really high-quality minions the whole way through. I couldn't get anything to stick. Didn't have any mass removal. And yeah, I'm going to lose now, because I can Siphon Soul this, but he's just got so much stuff on the board, he can pretty much whittle me down if he wants. Frickin' Harvest Golem being a mech was very important for this Technician. I guess he's deciding whether to kill my Ogre or to kill this guy. The correct answer is to kill this guy. But that's just me. I do have 4 cards, so from his perspective, he's afraid of me getting a Dread Infernal or something. He might be thinking, wow, why did the guy just play that Void Caller if he didn't have any demons? He decides to trade off the Ogre. Okay. So, now we do what we must. Got a Siphon Soul, that guy. And I need to kill this guy. Need to kill that guy. Now the damaged Golem kills off my Void Caller. Plot twist, I don't actually have any demons off of it. And then he's got 4 cards to my 3. And he's got the first play. He's had a very slow game, so he's probably going to have a bunch of good stuff to play now. He clearly, this guy is 4-2, but he's got a solid deck. Golems, 2 Shredders, Snowman Champion. I guess the only thing he's really lacking, he hasn't really played any removal. Ah, that might be why he's losing, even though his cards are good. So we just both had our cards, and even though I had removal and he didn't, he came out ahead because his card quality was so much better than mine. This could have been a Blood Knight. It wouldn't have really saved me, I don't think. But now he's just going to be dead. I'm going to buff like 1 minion at most. Yeah, maybe I should have taken that opportunity when I had it to buff an extra minion. We have plenty of life gain. We've got 5 life gain, so I can life tap. Maybe life tap my way out of this, but that would require him to not have basically more than 1 really big threat. I can deal with 1 big threat, but if he has 2 big threats, I'm screwed. If he doesn't have, like, you know, big threats, if he just has like a few little things or medium-sized threats, he's gonna be in great shape. He decides to leave this thing alive, which is a mistake. He really shouldn't have left that thing alive. So let's think. Alright, this seems pretty clear. Oh, wait a minute, hang on. I was thinking Drain Life this guy, but I could actually play the Silverhand Knight and Enhanso to get this thing going. Then, unfortunately, I cannot Drain Life. I really do need to Drain Life this thing, though. So we will Drain Life that. And let's Life Tap, I suppose, because I'm going to Life Tap and play the Silverhand Knight, so let's do that. Ah, interesting. So I could play the Void Walker instead. No, I'm not going to play the Void Walker. Or, I am going to play the Void Walker, except I'm going to play it by killing this Void Caller into the 3/3. Right, I almost missed that. That would have been embarrassing. Okay, there we go. So I basically cheated 1 little mana there. Okay, well, this is looking significantly better. I do have an Antique Heal button here, so I'm going to Life Tap pretty freely.
I got the best deal.
Auctioneer. Oh, jeez, Auctioneer. Alright, so he cycles this, which is pretty smart. Please don't have any more spells. Oh, he still has a spare part. Oh crap, that's not good. He's gonna silence my Void Walker. Alright, this is looking a little scary, so he's trying to basically whittle me down. Yeah. And he gets another card off of that spare part, so that was a really good Auctioneer for him. Unfortunately for me. And this thing is gonna start to hurt pretty bad. Oh no, I got my Squire. Right, okay, that's good. Oh, he's going to kill the Squire. Interesting. I don't know why he killed the Squire, but not the Void Caller. I guess he was really afraid of that Void Caller. Probably too much so. Alright, let's kill this, because I have to. Would have loved a Shadow Bolt for that instead of the Siphon Soul, but you can't always get what you want. So, he's got 3 cards to my this stuff. If he doesn't have removal, the only removal he's played so far is Frost Shock. I can get a decent Enhanso next turn, so let's see if... I think if even 2 of these things live, I'll be pretty happy. Okay. Ah, damn. So that spell damage totem let him kill off my boy. Too bad. Too bad. Okay, he still can't find a taunt totem, so I do have the option of running into the Yeti if I wish to. Antique Heal Bot. Alright, now is the time to do this and drop Mr. Meccano. It's not going to get any better than this, I don't think. Alright, so this was nothing. And then this is Wind Furied. So I think the most sensible thing is just to run in there and kill off the totems. I could have run into this twice and killed it, but I would rather clear his board as much as possible. So I have a board of like weak crap. Do I have anything else for endgame? I've used my Floating Watcher, used my Ogre. I think I have, and I've used Silverhand Knight and an Antique Heal Bot. He's actually had 2 Stormwind Champions. Are you kidding me? That sucks. Oh, that sucks so much. Well, alright, so now we're back to life tapping. Mortal Coil. Alright, we'll do this so we can use the Mortal Coil. Even though it means I can't kill the Stormwind Champion right now, I feel like that was worth the risk. Return a friendly minion to your hand. Huh. Oh, this thing was silenced and it re-got its taunt. Right, yes. Okay. Yeah, there's not many options here. I gotta do this. Gotta do this in Dark Bomb. Play Void Caller. Hit him in his fat face. And I think I'll just pass the turn. I can put this guy back in my hand and get it back with Void Caller, but there's no point, really. He's basically his own voidy self. So I've got 6 cards left. Fatigue is starting to become a serious issue. I don't remember if I have anything left here that I can kill him with. I honestly don't remember. Ah, of course. Of course. of Bloody Course. Infiltrator is not what I need. I do have to keep life tapping. I just gotta hope for the best here. Alright, so we'll kill this. And think I could I could put it back in my hand and replay, but that's silly. Let's just do this. This, and then Shattered Sun Cleric. Who do I want to buff? Let's go for this guy. Let's go as big as I can. So I've got 4 cards left. He's got 9. So I will lose fatigue. There's no way I'm going to live long enough for him to get down. So I've got to kill him with these 4 cards. It's a real threat here that he can just basically cancel all my cards and win on fatigue. I do have to keep life tapping because I need to get as much out there as quickly as I can. And just hope I can race him down. He's got to run out of juices in order for me to win. Alright, that's a really nice thing to see because it doesn't do very much. And he has a silence. So he can get rid of this Void Caller he's been so afraid of the whole time. Alright, well, let's see what we've got going on here. Gotta throw everything on the line. And let's see, what's the most that I can squeeze out of my minions? So if I do something like this, and then I'll let him pop the Divine Shield against my Voidwalker and finish it off with like this guy, leaving everything at 1 health. Got 2 cards left. If I were a pro player, I would know exactly what these are, and I'd know whether it's worth it to life tap or not next turn. Because I would hate to life tap into something junky. Crackle? Okay, not the worst thing in the world. Not the worst thing. Zombie Chow. And Soulfire. Oops, I should have really known I had a Soulfire, so that was just a terrible life tap. I lost like a bunch of health doing that. Oops. Alright, well, yeah. Hit him in the face. See what he's got. This is 4, 6, 9, 11 damage. If he never kills this, I could kill him in 2 or 3 turns. Deathlord. Oh no! That's bad. Oh, that's really bad. I don't have any minions, of course, left in my deck, so that was a pretty good card for him to have there. Okay, so we're only doing 5 damage to him. If he kills the zombie chow, I'm totally effed. 3, 5, 7 damage. It's going to take 3 turns to kill him, minus the totems. I'm totally screwed. He'd have to have the worst top decks in the history of top decks for me to actually win this game. Well, that's one bad top deck. Hopefully it's like some stupid ancestral spirit crap or something. Ouch, that life I lost though, with the unnecessary life tap, that's a killer. That's 3 life, 2 for the life tap, 1 for the extra fatigue. Flame Tongue is a pretty good top deck for him. Okay, so we kill that. Can I afford to hit this Flame Tongue totem? I really can't. I just have to assume he doesn't get a taunt totem. So 3, 5, I have exactly 7 damage. So if he doesn't get a taunt totem and has no removal and no life gain and no other taunts, yeah, then I actually win. Okay, so is that a taunt? 1 in 4 chance? It's not. Is this removal? It's not. Is this removal or life gain? It is removal. That's the Flame Tongue kill a creature, which is the zombie chow, which gives him 5 health. Oh, that bloodlust was. I mean, there's so many things he could have done to win the game, but that was the worst one. So now I have 5 damage. I can't kill him, so it's over because he's just gonna hit me and I die of fatigue. Okay, so yeah, that happened. I actually lost 3 games to shamans. That's unbelievable. And the wins against other classes were just so comfortable. This was a fine deck. Just seemed to have some weird issue against shamans. Maybe I needed that Hellfire to give me that extra edge for the board players. I got 85 gold for 4 wins. Well, that is terrific. So we will. You know, I'm gonna actually re-roll this 2 wins with Warlock quest. I thought I might win in the arena. Wasn't that silly of me? Okay, let's go back in there. Oh, and I didn't open. You know, fuck it, whatever. Who cares? We'll open the pack next time. So we have Warlock, Major, Rogue. I feel like winning, so let's take Mage.
Magic will prevail.
Alright, starting off with a great 4-drop. And the sheep, you know, I'll take it as a mage because I can self-activate it. So it's like a 4 mana consecration-ish thing. Let's take a Sorcerer's Apprentice. Those are solid. Flame Strike is great, even though it's sad to pass on a Frostbolt. I will take, let me think. I hate taking Zombie Chow as a mage. You know what? Screw it. Forget Zombie Chow. Let's just take the Mech Warper. It's still an early drop. It's helpful later on as well. Take a Dwarf over the Stalker, because it's nice to have a bigger body and some buffing. I don't like Undertaker in the arena. I'll take just a nice Taunter here. Snow Chugger is very good, but I'm not going to pass on an Ogre this early on. And a Tiger is very good as well. Gotta make sure you have those sources of damage. Fuck you, Mad Bomber. We'll take the Argent Commander. Alright, getting lots of really good endgame up front here. Hopefully I'm not stuck taking expensive cards later when I don't want them. So Mirror Entity can be really good. It also is nice to have. If I get a Mad Scientist later, I'll be glad to have Mirror Entity. But the Arcane Intellect is card advantage. There's few cards that give me card advantage than cards that give me, like, you know, minions. So I'm going to take the cards there. Cult Master versus Water Elemental. Ah, that's tough. My gut tells me Cult Master is probably the right move, but this is going to be a higher curve deck already, so we'll take the Elemental just because it's a more broken card. Do I take another Elemental or go a little bit lower in the curve for the tank? No, I'll take an Elemental. I think it's worth it. Spell damage or the missiles? I actually don't have any spells that deal damage besides Flame Strike, which is a little worrying. So we'll take the Arcane Missiles for some more early game removal. Ouch, that's bad. I could take this because it's the same as the Ogre Magi, except 1 more mana and deals 2. You know what? Maybe here I don't really need the spell damage. Do I really take up a 5-drop with Nightblade just to have more reach to the deck? Alright, we'll try it. Let's see if this works. See how often I regret that. Okay, duplicate. You know, I've seen people use it, but usually it's just not that good. I'll take another one of these for some more card advantage. Alright, 3rd Water Elemental. Yes, please. Healbot. I don't think this is... I don't know if I want that or not. Oh, man, I'm actually tempted to take Elven Archer for some more removal because I'm so lacking in removal. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I need the removal, even if it's bad. Alright, I think that while Echo can be a really good card in Ranked, I'm going to take the Big Game Hunter here. This guy has been, like, on fire in the arena lately, so I just want to make sure I don't miss him. Okay, 3 of these is probably too many, so we'll take a Raider to have another 2-drop early on. I'm really desperate for removal, so I'm going to take the Arcane Explosion, even though the Cleric's better. Flame Cannon over the 4th Elemental has got to be the pick. Alright, Wolf Rider's nice here. It gives me some removal, some reach, gives me another body. And here I will take the Cult Master. Ah, crap. Well, shoot. If I had known I was going to get a Cult Master here, I would have taken something else there, because this is all unplayable junk. Wind Fury's not... Harpy's not good if you have a lot of other endgame, because if you have a slow deck in general, this thing's not good. You don't want to play it when you're behind. I'll try 2 Cult Masters. Cult Master's just junk. Alright, another Spider... Or not another, but a Spider Tank. Nah, we'll take this. I need to get some more early plays and some stealth damage at the end would be nice. This, for a more taunt, I will take. Polymorph. Hey, some removal. That's nice. Well, I didn't take Mirror Entity or the Duplicate, so this thing's just junk. Yeah, I'll take this guy just as a 1-3 to mop up 1 toughness things. I don't know, I think a 4-3 for 3 is pretty weak these days. Alright, that was not like my last draft, which I went to 12 wins with. This is more like a 3-win caliber deck. That doesn't mean I'm going to get 3 wins, just that's the kind of deck that it feels like. It really doesn't have anything to recommend it. There's 1 Flame Strike and 1 Polymorph. That's all I got. No Frostbolts, because I had to pass the Frostbolt to take the Flame Strike. It's got no Fireballs. It's got very bad burn, very low removal. And I'm relying on a decent endgame to carry me through the games. Does have some good card draw with these Arcane Intellects and Cult Masters maybe, but card draw is not that great if you don't actually have cards that will answer your opponent's things. Okay. This is not a great card. It's just not good, but it does work a little better against Paladins in case they overrun you with recruits. Okay, it's got that thing. So here, I think I will coin something, whether it's to ping this or to play a creature, I'm not sure. Let's ping it. I could have played this and tried to kill it slowly, but this is a safer move. I'll happily trade a coin for a card. And he'll happily do that too. He's happy that I used up my coin and didn't play a better creature. Okay, Arcane Explosion is nice to have as insurance against those spiders. The Ogre is good to look forward to because Paladins have a hard time dealing with those. So this is looking okay so far. Had I known I would get an Arcane Explosion, I probably would have, what's his face? Taken that Ogre Magi instead of the Night Blade that I took. Okay, so the Arcane Explosion will kill this off. The Mech Warper unfortunately doesn't have quite enough juice to kill this, and I don't have enough mana to ping it. So I'm going to violate the Bro Code, and I'm going to play the Bear. I'm going to actually hit that thing because I don't want to get too fancy here with, you know, holding out for the Arcane Explosion. And I might not play the Explosion. Maybe I'll want to play the Dwarf or something. Alright, that's just the worst thing ever. It doesn't die to the Big Game Hunter because it doesn't quite hit hard enough. So now I just have to deal with the 6/4, which I can't. Alright, so Dark Iron Dwarf plus Big Game Hunter is a combo. With that, for 7 mana, you can kill anything with an attack power of 5. The problem is it's 3 turns away. I can't hold out for that, so I have to play the Dark Iron Dwarf now to try to trade with the first iteration of this Golem. So we're behind here. That was a pretty good blessing, and the Golem was a really good 3-drop for him as well. Okay. That's another thing I need to... Oh, God. Oh, jeez. There's a 6/4 and a 5/4 for me to deal with. Turn away from the Ogre. Alright, Polymorph, I admit, is a pretty good top deck, so we'll get rid of that. Hang it. And then... This is annoying because it's 5 damage out of the Ogre's 7 health. So, that sucks. This guy could have been a 4/3. Yeah, that was a misdraft. Should have been a 4/3. That would have been much better for me. It's got 2 secrets. Okay, that's good because he's throwing cards away. He's now going to go... Oh, God. He just played Blessing of Might. Well, I mean... Is that a bad play? I'm not going to say it's a bad play just because I have a Big Game Hunter. Clearly, you don't play around Big Game Hunter. But it's a bit ballsy. He's pretty much throwing away this game, though, by playing all these awful secrets. So, well, and by the way, you're like, how do you know these are awful secrets, Boris? It's because they're Paladin secrets. So is that a noble sacrifice? Yeah, he just left a noble sacrifice for this Elven Archer to run into when he could have killed the Elven Archer instead of going crazy with Blessing of Might. Okay, wow, so I was going to lose that game guaranteed, and then he just threw away a whole bunch of cards, Blessing of Might and 2 secrets, and now I have a chance. Because I'm just going to play an Ogre, and he's going to have a tough time dealing with it. So he gets the True Silver Champion to kill the Big Game Hunter. Bravo. And what is that secret? So it's not Repentance, and it's not Redemption. This is Eye for an Eye? Isn't that all that's left? I think that's actually Eye for an Eye. Oh, God, well, that's good. No reason to Arcane Missile this recruit. I think I can wait on an Arcane Explosion, perhaps, to do that for me. Fairy Dragon. It's nice to see. He's going to hit me in the face. Okay. I got a pretty good move here. I can Arcane Explosion, and then Arcane Missiles is it's going to have a 7 or an 8 chance of killing off this Fairy Dragon. So if I hit him in the face, I'm going to take 6 damage. Ah, wait. Maybe one of the Arcane Missiles will hit him in the face. And then... does Eye for an Eye trigger off of like a ping from a mage? Or does it have to be a minion? Anyway, he loses. Wow. That was a surprise. I really thought I was going to lose that game after the opener because I just couldn't get a handhold. But then that guy's bad drafting skills did him in. I do not think he just had that many bad picks that he took Blessing of Might and 2 secrets. One of which is Eye for an Eye. And a Hand of Protection, which are all mediocre cards. I think he just drafted badly and ran out of steam because of it. That's my greedy assessment of that game. Alright, we're up against a warrior. Prometheus. The warrior. And we have a decent opening hand here. Glad I took this thing. For surezies. I am going to keep the Arcane Missiles because... Well, I don't want to use Arcane Missiles plus this to kill anything. It's nice in case he plays like some 1-toughness stuff, just to have a decent shot of killing it off. Time to start my day's labors. The thing about this, unlike setting off the kite, or popping vegetables, this isn't satisfying. Like, the end result is satisfying. I like it when the rockets explode and whatever, but I wish it were a little bit more predictable how you get them to trigger, or it didn't require you to like randomly open it so many times. Oh, the spark just landed on that. Shower of sparks, somehow completely missing the fuse. Sparks are definitely underpowered. Fuse, OP. Can you make your move, Prometheus? That'd be great. Thanks. Okay, so he plays the owl, which is an interesting choice, to say the least. I don't know that I would have done this. Now, I've always said, you know, you should, you know, play your minions instead of holding them because it might stop the mage from doing something better. But an owl is not a minion I would play for that purpose. I think it's worth it to save the owl for when you actually need to silence. Alright, we have a cavalcade of 4 drops, so it's good that I'm second. Which one do I play first? Well, it depends on whether there's anything that this thing will need to trade up into. I'd like to play the water elemental first, because it stopped my summon from attacking, but I may not have the ability to do so. Okay. So yeah, I just want that thing to die. We will dwarf. Know that this isn't particularly scary, but I would rather it be dead than not. I could have played this and just stood it against a 2-4, but then he would have killed my Worgen with it, which is not necessary. So if he plays a good minion here, I could be in trouble. Instead, he graces me with a do-nothing turn, which is awesome. So now we'll go for the elemental. I'm not in any rush to play the Violet Teacher here. I think it's fine to drop it later and maybe follow it up with Arcane Missile right away or something. I don't have any spells I was really planning on playing, so I don't need to get this down super early. Dark Bomb. Is that going to blow up, or is it just perpetually sparkling? Prometheus is a thinker. Wait, I missed it. Did it go away? Did it explode? Oh, I just looked away for a second. Okay, so he's got that, which is not very good in these particular circumstances, and he knows it, so he hits me in the face. Well, let's just do the obvious. I think we'll run that in there, run this in here to stop him from attacking. And I might as well play the Violet Teacher now. So this is actually a really good game for me. I just got 3 solid 4-drops onto the table, and he's got nothing. So it's headed towards victory for sure. He'd have to have a pretty stellar maneuver. And there are things he could do that would be really good. Brawl would kill 2 of them off. Actually, that wouldn't be very good. I'd still be left with 1, and it would be his whole turn. But, you know, Whirlwind and Execute, I guess, would be really good. Whirlwind would kill this off, Execute would kill that off. Yeah, that would be... And then he'd get draw a card off of this guy. Yeah, if he had Whirlwind and Execute in his hand, he'd be fine. He'd be in tip-top shape. But he does not. He has an armor up. Okay, well, that's good. So, really, really anemic 6th turn there. Just an Acolyte is it. We'll give him this card. Pound him in the face. Now, he couldn't deal with this last turn. I don't know how he's going to deal with all that plus an Ogre this turn. So the moment of respite he was hoping for is not arriving. Got this to answer anything he could play. Am I close to killing him? 6, 10, 16. Not quite going to kill him this turn.
Your magic shall not
He silences this so he can start attacking with his axe, but that axe is pretty much not going to be of use to him very shortly. He's going to slam the Teacher and draw a card, and I don't know... Okay, he just wanted a card. That was a mistake. He should have just killed this dwarf. Because he doesn't need cards, he needs a way to not die. Alright, well, let's just keep it simple here. We'll play this and this. Kill that off. Whackity. Whackity. Smackity do. So here's where a brawl would be very helpful. It would leave me with 1 creature. If he's lucky and it's the dwarf or the Violet Teacher or the elemental, he could finish it off with his axe. And then because I don't have any burn in this deck, then I might actually have ended up losing the game. Doesn't have a brawl though, he has a cleave. That was really good cleave. It
Well played.
zoomed in on the 2 creatures it needed to. But anyway, he's dead now. Because I just polymorph the Senjin and then the Ogre plus the Tiger do the job. Man, even a Jesus, even a bad mage deck is just better than like a solid warlock deck, it seems. Granted, this deck it's not bad because it has bad cards. All the cards in it, I don't think there were really any bad cards in this deck. All the cards in it are fine. It's just a lack of removal that's the problem. But that guy didn't play anything, so that sort of played to my weakness of not having removal because he didn't play anything for me to remove. Okay, great. Good times. Pip pip cheerio, let's do one more game. Do I have time for more than one? I might have time for more than one, but probably just one. Taking a sip of good luck water. Maybe the devil decided to be nice today and he's extending my my soul pact, sacrificial pact, soul fire pact, whatever. And I'm continuing to only lose to shamans while beating everyone else. Wouldn't it be cool if that was like for like the rest of my life? I only lost to shamans. But every shaman I faced, I guaranteed lost, and everyone else I faced, I guaranteed won. I wonder how long that streak can go. Well, we'll test ourselves against Les. Really, what kind of a name is that? Lizard. Okay, that's hilarious. That's a good name. I like it. Lizard. His name is Lizard. He comes from afar. Okay, so this is not the greatest opening hand. I have nothing until turn 3. Thankfully, though, I have an overpowered hero ability that can kill off his recruits and maybe even some cheap minions. I do have 1 removal spell, which early on will kill anything. And it is nice to have it early on because later on he might have more recruits out. Flame Cannon's use will be diluted.
I wonder.
This is so much better than Shadow Bolt. It's not even funny. Alright, let's see if he's got anything for me to use my Arcane Missiles or Flame Cannon on. This deck suffers for lack of removal, but it does have its early stuff. Mana Wraith. Ouch, that's pretty much unacceptable. So, do I roll the dice with Arcane Missiles? 50-50 flip? I don't think I can afford to. I need to play a creature next turn, so we're going to Flame Cannon that. Jazz. And then whatever he plays is gonna live. And I will coin out a water elemental in response, and then follow it up with another water elemental. Glad that I did not take Cult Master for either of these, because I am going to want those back-to-back elementals. This could have been an Ogre Magi. Right now I don't care that much that it isn't. Probably won't play it on turn 5. Of course, I'd rather play the Tiger on turn 5. So turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. I've got really good minions, but, you know, if he has good answers, I'm going to be in trouble. Okay, he gets a 4-4. Unfortunately, the Sorcerer's Apprentice is about a turn too late. We'll play the Elemental, which doesn't quite kill this thing off. But I'm gonna have to ignore his creatures, which isn't that great. Oh, Jesus. Ballsack Christ. Well, where's Big Game Hunter when you need him? Shoot. So I could play this and the Arcane Intellect, hoping to get a Big Game Hunter. If I run the Elemental in, I'll freeze it, but I mean, Jesus, it's only going to take it down to 8-5. I got to get that Big Game Hunter, end of story. So we're going to play the Sorcerer's Apprentice, Arcane Intellect, and just hope the Big Game Hunter shows up. He doesn't. Oh, that sucks. So am I really just going to lose to a 4-4 on turn 3 followed by Blessing of Kings? I mean, if I didn't get Polymorph, which I needed, and I didn't get Big Game Hunter. This deck has 2 answers to this, which isn't granted that many. But I didn't get any of them, so that sucks.
Reporting for duty.
Big Game Hunter? That's not good. So, let's see. I could run in and do that. That's 5 damage. Explosive Sheep and ping my own sheep. That would take this down to 1 health. Pop off the shield. And then I have enough mana left over to do Arcane. I can do the Arcane Missile first. Problem if I do the Arcane... Actually, yeah, I gotta do the Arcane Missile first before this thing dies. Yep, gotta go for it. So let's see where this lands. Hang on, do I want to play the Violet Teacher here? No, okay, do I need to play the Sheep this turn, or can I afford to, like, play the Teacher? Because this thing is gonna be frozen. So I could just kind of, like, hang out and save a turn. This is a really important decision. I gotta make the right call here. You know what? Yep, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this. Arcane Missile and just hope it's good.
I'm ready to learn.
That's good. Okay, That's actually really good. So we can do Elven Archer, shoot this thing dead. That, freeze this guy. If he silences to unfreeze it, it will also drop it back to being a 4/4. When you're behind, you gotta take risks. It's a risk staying at 14 health like this, but I think I needed to get some board presence out. I'm just gonna heal that, so I really need to get Big Game Hunter or Polymorph, like, next turn.
Reporting for duty.
Please? No! Oh, big, Ogre, Jesus. Can I let this thing hit me and play an Ogre? I mean, he might, like, if he targets me, he might not hit me. He's got a 50-50 chance, you know. Let's see, I could play the sheep, so I could run this in, that's 3, 4, 5, God, 6, 7 damage with the sheep. Doesn't quite kill this fucking heal. Oh, man. Alright. Well, as the old saying goes, when we're behind, take risks. I'm gonna drop this ogre down. We'll kill... Actually, you know what, I gotta risk the consecration here. Gotta keep as much on the board as I can. Face, hit him in the face. And just hope he, like, misses his target and hits the Elven Archer or something. I could have killed this a couple turns ago with the sheep, but I think I would have been so screwed if I had done that. He goes for the face and lands it. Turn 3 Ogre, Brute. Turn 4, Blessing of Kings. Jesus. Seriously? Alright, well, at least I can kill that thing. Oh, Polymorph. A little late. I should have taken that antique heal bot, I suppose. So let's do this very carefully. We have to turn that into a sheep. Then we have to hit this before anything else dies, so it doesn't kill off my ogre. Then I need to finish it off like this. Finish it off like that. And why not use the ping? Because I need to play the elemental. Alright, so 6 damage is a little bit of a tall order for a paladin with 4 cards, but doable. If he doesn't have it, Consecration wins him the game because it kills off all my stuff. He doesn't have a Consecration though. He would have played that if he had it. Okay, so he's got all this stuff. Alright, I'm not dead. That's good. 3, 6, 7, 10, 11. Can't quite kill him. 14. I can actually do a 4. Let's see. 2 plus 9 is 11. 14. I can deal 15 damage, so that Outdoor Peacekeeper saves his bacon. Let's do this. Let's do that.
Do as you say.
I need to kill this. I can't not kill this. So let's do that. That. Hit him for 6. And to maximize my damage, I would need to do this. Okay, so we're threatening lethal. He's got 3 cards now to deal 6 damage.
I hope you
Novice Engineer. Alright, he's fishing for an out or for damage. Guardian of Kings gives him an out. I think I can deal enough damage to kill him now. 5 plus 6 is 14. Oh, I do actually have enough damage. 5 plus 6 is 14, seriously. 5 plus 6 is 11, 14, 17, 18 damage. Okay, I need to get this right, because if I count off, I will lose. 3, 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 plus 3 is 14, 15, 18 damage. Okay, I have enough to kill him. That Nightblade drafting choice didn't matter in the other games, and it actually won me this one. Over the Ogre Mag, I give myself some mad props there. And I'm sure he's going like, who plays Nightblade? Or, because he's Lazar, who plays the Nightblade? Alright, we'll do one more game. Because I'm a little bit earlier than 45 minutes. Might as well do one more game, make this video a bit longer. Ah, wow. I actually can't believe I won that game. That should have probably been a loss. What won it for me is that he didn't have Consecration, because 100% guaranteed I would have lost if he'd been able to Consecrate. I want to give myself some props, though. I took some risks in a really bad situation that I needed to take. He got what he needed. That Ogre Brute hit me in the face when he needed it to. He just fell before the might of my awesome risks. Coffee the Warrior. That's a pretty cool name. Got a garbage opening hand, unfortunately, but that's why mulligans are good. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Can I get a Worgen Infiltrator? Nope. Well, that's a curve. It's not a good curve because there's no removal here. And this is a 2-3, which is, if you don't have any removal, you'd rather have a 3-2 than a 2-3, because they're both, you know, relatively equally likely to die, but this will trade with this stuff, whereas this won't trade with this 3 health stuff, whereas a 3-2 would. I don't really want to play this on turn 3, so I'm content to just hold on to this. And then use turn 3 to ping, maybe, and have this kill something. I don't really have many mechs here. I think I've got the sheep, and that might just be it. So I'm probably just going to... But I'll still play this, because this is definitely never getting buffed. So I might as well play this to have it die to whatever he plays early on, and then play this later on. Okay, so he didn't have a turn 1 play with the coin. That's good. Let's see what he has here. I'd love to make it to turn 4 and play this elemental. Trog. Well, that will actually buff off the intellect. So if there's any hesitation, I'm definitely not going to play the intellect there. So do I run this in? On the one hand, if I run this in and it dies to the bear, then I just took 2 damage on this creature for nothing. On the other hand, if he kills the bear, then I'll want this to be ready to kill. You know what? I'm actually going to do this. I think that's the right move because, whatever, I'm willing to risk this creature's health a little bit, but I need to make sure I get a foothold in the game, and that means doing the most that I can to get his creatures to die. Okay, turn 4. Is it going to be like a weaponsmith? Okay, well, so that damage was wasted because he did run it anyway. So I have an option now. I can run into this and ping it. Cult Master would die to the axe. That doesn't really make any sense. Or do I just play the big creature? I could run in, ping it, and play the Mech Warper. So I'd have a Mech Warper on an empty field, or I can play this and have the Elemental and this. So then he could use the axe to kill this thing and have a 3-3 versus my 3-6. I'm gonna trust my instincts here. Let's keep the board clear. If I didn't have the Mech Warper, I would have played the Elemental. Or if I didn't have the Mech Warper or some other 2-drop. But I feel like this was worth it to get his board to clear out. I've got this card advantage later on, so if I can just keep things equal, I'm in good shape. Alright, Sanjin's a pretty good response to the Mech Warper. Do I play the Tiger or the Elemental? Well, the Elemental will kill the Sanjin, assuming the Mech Warper hits it just as well as the Tiger will. But the Elemental has an extra point of health and it can freeze the Warrior later. So, even though the Elemental costs less mana, I'm going to play it because I think it's worth it here. Alright, so currently I'm thinking if I can kill this thing. The Bomb Lobber would have been... I would have been better off playing the Tiger because the Tiger would have been stealth, so he wouldn't have been able to kill this engine. Ah, that's too bad. Alright, so do I play another Water Elemental or do I play the Tiger? I think I'm going to go ahead and play the Tiger here because the Elemental has an extra point of health, but it's going to die to both these things anyway, so I might as well play the Tiger, which is stealthy and costs more mana. Shield Block is delightful to see because it doesn't do anything for half of his mana for the turn. Spider Tank is actually really good considering he had only 3 mana left. It's about as good as it gets for a 3 mana minion. Starting to fall behind here. I could go for the Violet Teacher Arcane Intellect play, which would give me an extra 1/1. I think it's actually worth doing because while the Water Elemental has an extra point of health, the freezing stuff is irrelevant, and I need to, you know, take every advantage I can get. Alright, so the Violet Teacher has a 0% chance of surviving the turn, which is too bad because I actually have a bunch of spells I could play. But, let's see, he's going to kill the Teacher. Well, how is he going to kill the Teacher? I guess he could run both these guys into it, but then I have these 2 things left. Then maybe I could play the Cult Master. Cleave. Ah, that's a really good way of killing the Teacher. Ouch. So, if I lose everything, he still has 5 mana to work with. Spider Tank number 2, not worth polymorphing.
Mind if I roll need?
Oh boy. Okay. Arcane Explosion's not worth it here. Explosive Sheep? Well, I could Arcane Explosion and use the Sheep, but that would only deal 3 damage across the board, so it wouldn't kill this guy off. So I'll play this. And what do I ping? I think I'm going to ping the Loot Hoarder, actually. Because I want him to have 2 less damage on the board right there. Alright, so how do I win this game? Well, I could polymorph if he drops a really big threat. Let's say he spends his turn dropping a big threat. I polymorph it. Later on, I get further ahead with cards on the Arcane Intellect. And that could do it, I suppose. Alright, he's gonna 2-for-1 into the Elemental. Didn't even want to use that guy. He plays Goblin Sapper, which is irrelevant because I'm definitely not going to have that many cards. Although if I would have Arcane Intellected, I could have. Let's see. Oh, wow, this is actually a serious threat. Shit. I can play this, and then the Intellect, but then I will have, in fact, 6 cards. So, he is actually affecting my plays here. Gotta play this thing, and think. Wow, that actually sucks. This would have been the best move here. I could do the sheep for some reason. That doesn't seem right at all. Yeah, the sheep doesn't make any sense. You know what? Let's see, if I play the sheep, it'll deal 4 down to this. Then you could throw... Yeah, I think I gotta just play the sheep here. And I'm gonna ping off this guy. Let's disguise the fact that the sapper's really bothering me. Alright, I'm hanging in there. It's equal on cards so far. I need him to play one big thing instead of this endless parade of 3 drops. And if he does just play one big thing and I can polymorph it, I'll get a little bit of an edge going. He can run both of these things into the Spectral Knight and then kill off the sheep to finish this off. Interesting choice. So he decides to Kodo there. Kill off the sheep. I guess that was his way of killing off the sheep, and he is going to run in there. So that's a 2-for-2. Neither of us gets ahead with that one. And he's got a mana left. Puddle Stomper, not a big deal. Okay. Cult Master's looking pretty grim here. If it had been some other playable minion, I would have been much happier. Big Game Hunter doesn't do anything yet either. Flame Cannon and Sorcerer's Apprentice. Alright, well, let's do it, I guess. See what this hits. Wait, I can actually... Explosion, ping, and then... You know what? That's the move, isn't it? It's Explosion, ping, and then Cannon to clear the board. Okay, so I've got 4 cards to his 3. The main issue is that these are all very conditional cards. I'd be lucky to get a single card off of Cult Master. This requires him to play something big, which he hasn't all game, and this requires him to play something big, which he hasn't all game. And again, I have nothing for Polymorph and nothing for the Big Game Hunter. That's so frustrating. Okay. What sucks here is that the Cult Master dies to the Squire. Nightblade. Could have been an Ogre Mag, I would have been about the same thing. Alright, well, we gotta do this. It sucks that it dies to the Squire and all, but it's gotta happen. Otherwise, it's just never gonna be useful. Alright, Water Elemental is really good. Do this. And I'm gonna send a ping on the Knight, because the Squire is running into the Cult Master 100% guaranteed anyway, so I might as well get to work on this guy. Okay, I got a Dark Iron Dwarf still in the deck, so that could let me kill something with 5 attack or more, thanks to Big Game Hunter. And I have a Flame Strike in here. And I still have the Polymorph. Cool. Taskmaster to trade with the Elemental. Wow, what a back and forth game. We're just trading nonstop. He's got the life advantage. I have a little bit of card advantage. I've already used both Arcane Intellects, though. There's the Dwarf, so I've got the combo ready. I could play this as just a 4-2, 4-3, but I think with this, I've got to hold out if I can for the combo. Just need him to play anything with a 5 attack or higher. That is 4 attack or higher. Are you kidding me? Okay, well, what I think I'll do is use Polymorph on this. If he plays anything else big later, I've got this combo ready to go. So we'll Polymorph this. Ogre's an amazing drop here.
This one's mine.
Kill that guy off. Sheep doesn't quite kill the Nightblade. We're ready to kill anything big. Just play anything big, please, for the love of ponies, and then I win. I just need him to drop anything remotely large, and then my card advantage should be insurmountable. No! No! Stop playing cards that kill my things. That's not fair. Alright, so he kills... Oh, he's going for the face. Smart. I didn't even realize that was a possibility, but yes, that's a totally smart thing to do. Because if he gets me, he's going to be at a 9 health, he could burn me out. Alright, do I play this Dwarf to accelerate how much damage I'm dealing, or do I hold this out as a removal combo? Because I could lose the game if I make the wrong choice here. 10 damage, he's at 36 health. It's going to take me 4 turns of hitting him with just these creatures.
What to do?
But if I get this wrong, if I play them and he plays anything huge, I could lose for that reason as well. Oh, man. I've got the Ogre, which could help bring something down, but it's not as good as this. Alright, we're going to hedge my bets. I'm going to hit him in the face twice. or just sorry, for one turn, and then we're gonna see what happens. See what he decides to do. I don't have any taunt or anything, so I can't deflect this thing. He could just burn me out, which would be a pretty sad way to lose this protracted battle. Commanding Shout, just to draw a card, okay. He's really far down in his deck. Does he really have nothing big? He just has nothing big. That's so unbelievable. Alright, well, since he's had nothing, clearly, we'll just kill this thing off. Do I want to get a card with Cult Master? Nah. Let's just kill this thing off. So we'll ping it, buff it, shoot it down. Killed a creature. I hit him for a ton of damage in the face. 6 plus 12 is 18, 19 damage. I'm threatening lethal. He needs removal right here or he loses. That's 4 damage. Does he have like a Reckless Rocketeer here or another Arcanite Reaper to kill me? Appears he does not.
Well
Interesting choice there. He should have just killed a creature and then drawn. He could have lived another turn, but I guess maybe his other card was useless, so he knew there was no one top deck that would save him. Although, I don't know, I guess he would have had to not have any more Arcanite Reapers or Gorehowls or Reckless Rocketeers or anything. Anyway, we're up to 4-0 for a 3 caliber deck. It's doing pretty good. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like it or subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care.